All right, fam, the caveman is back with you. So, Dax dropped a new one 3 days ago, so I'm a little late, but I love Dax. I'm going to be in on Dax for sure because, man, there's not a more well-rounded, more polished, and there's people who claim they're better, and maybe they focus on, they ain't this good. All right, let's go. Let's get this. Just shut up, caveman. Just shut up, caveman. Let's do this. I know what you guys are thinking. I know what you guys want to say. Shut up. The song's on. All right. We're in a church. Somebody died. He's got issues. Lonely dirt road.
When I need space, that's where I go. A place to escape that nobody knows. Where I feel free to let things go and face this evil that burdens my soul.
Yeah.
I bring my hatred, I pack my pain. All the emotions I cannot explain. It's where I found God and filled that hole. It's He, myself, and I on that lonely dirt road. I needed somewhere to take my mistakes. I didn't want my family to see me cry. They'll never know I'm carrying all of this weight, dealing with the pressure of trying to provide. No sign of struggle can show on my face. They ask if I'm okay, I just flash them a smile. Fire up that engine to take me away. I'm speeding through emotions with every mile. On that road is where I find my peace. I remember Daddy told me about some times like these. On that road is where my mind's at ease. I keep driving life away, rejecting change. So when I need...
You do what you got to do. You do what you got to do to get through it, man. I think Dax is a master at this. I think for a young man, doesn't have a family yet, he is well practiced. I mean, for all people, he is ready. I was ready because I waited a long time in life before I started having a family. And late in my 30s, I was training dogs at a high level. Schutzhund. Do you guys know what Schutzhund is? It's kind of like police dog training. I had the chance to train with a Schutzhund trainer back in Escondido area, Valley Center area of California. And this was an old German guy. And somebody, I got you in. I got you a meeting, you know. What's it going to cost, though? What's it going to cost? It's not going to cost you anything. But he's probably not going to like you. It was one of those deals. So I met this old German guy, and Ernie, if you're out there, you taught me so much about life. A lot like these Dax songs are probably enlightening and teaching the young men that hear them. Thank God for Dax for doing this. But that experience training dogs with him, he would always tell me, like real quick caveman story. I got a lot of you saying, hey, I'm here for the caveman stories. So I'm training dogs, and this is the first day I meet this guy, and he said, bring your pup out of the truck, right? So he's 6 months old or 7 months old, something like that. This is a time in training when we get him around people, we get him around distractions. Like I'll try to be walking him on leash, and we'll be kicking cans, or he had a pop gun and he'd fire gunshots and try to distract the dog. We're trying to get them to learn to be comfortable with those kind of distractions, because later on we're going to teach them protection work, and you better have a dog that can stay somewhat calm, right? So first thing I do, I get my pup out of the truck, and he meets him, and whatever, nice dog, nice bloodline, whatever. And then it's like, take him and walk him down there. And this dog was nuts. He was a basket case. And you want drive. You want that kind of wild, bad kid energy. He would tell me, Roman, when you have a child, you really want those children that want to take apart your welder and figure out what's in there, or take apart your transistor radio and find out what can you do with the parts or the magnet on the back of a battery? I remember being a kid trying to rig up all kinds of things with all these batteries I would jack out of everything. And he's like, those are good kids. Those kids go far. You know, they're probably like the young Elon Musk, I would imagine. But he was happy that I had a dog that was a spaz like this one. Wasn't afraid of anything. He wanted to work with my dog. He wanted to be a part of getting a Doberman to get a Schutzen 3 title. And he wanted to work with me, but then he asked me to just walk with the dog, and the dog was spinning on the leash. He didn't have a lot of leash training. He was spinning on the leash. He was jumping on me, and I was giggling. I was laughing about it. And he came at me. This is the first time I experienced this guy's attitude. He came at me pissed. He looked me dead in the eyes. He goes, "No one here's laughing but you. How long are you going to let that dog treat you like that?" And then he looked me in the eyes and he told me, "Listen, if I don't see you again because you don't come back here because you don't like my attitude with you right now, I want you to remember this when you have children. There's a certain amount of respect you need to have from your child. You need to have that from your dog. Your dog's making you look like a fool right now. When are you going to do something?" He's like, "It's not so much training the dog out here as it's training you. And I got to know that I can work with you. And are you hard enough to take my advice so that we're not wasting our time on you?" And I thought, dude, that is heavy. So, Caveman just flew, dude. I just flew. Let's go back to the song. Let's just go. That was crazy. Anyway, go back.
Where I go driving like road is where I find my peace. I remember Daddy told me about some times like these. On that road is where my mind's at ease. I keep driving life away, rejecting change. So when I need space, that's where I go. A place to escape that nobody knows, where I feel free to let things go and face this evil that burdens my soul. I bring my hatred, I pack my pain, all the emotions I cannot explain. It's where I found God and filled that hole. It's He, myself, and I.
It's where he found God, dude. That's where he found God. You know what? The kingdom of God is within. So say what you want to say. I'm going back to church. I'm loving every minute of it. This last weekend, my kids raised their hand to invite Jesus to be Lord of their lives. So I'm very happy. They're getting baptized next weekend. I'm very happy for that. But the kingdom of God is within, and we can't forget that. And you know what? Out on that dirt road, I can relate to that. I've lived on dirt roads my whole life, sitting out in nature. You know, my wife and I have told stories about coming to Texas. We've been here for 10 years now, but we stayed 10 months in New Mexico in this little dive town called Deming. Out near Deming, way out from Deming, like way out from nothing else, you know, nothing else. Not far from the border. Right now, there's probably a lot of traffic through that property, and it'd probably be a little hard to sleep at night comfortable. Yeah. There were a lot of dudes out there in Lexuses that met, you know, and it was like some Walter White. My dad lived out there, and my dad said, "Hey, they test high-end vehicles, and that's their job. They run back and forth, and they test high-end vehicles." And he believed it. I go, "Dad, no, that's not what they're doing." And I go, "Dad," my dad used to wear a you know what thing I can't mention on his hip. You know, he open carry, and he was a bit of a cowboy. And I had told my dad, like, "Listen, don't be cowboy around these guys. These guys are not what you think they are." So when you see the curly cowboy boot and the blingy cowboy clothes, you better watch yourself. So, but anyway, on that property out in New Mexico, it was like sandy desert, and the wind howled. You know, they used to say if the wind's blowing out there, you just hold like a thick chain up, and if it hangs, you got a good day. It was wind wind, but there was something about it. The state has a slogan, New Mexico, the land of enchantment. And my wife, Mrs. Realistic, you guys know her, a lot of you know her, she called it the land of entrapment. She hated it out there. She hated it. We were really poor. We didn't have work at the time. It was a real struggle, and she hated it out there. But I loved the desert. I loved sitting out there by those mesquite bushes all around me and just meditating or praying or whatever, and feeling like I'm getting in touch. I mean, to the point that I'm barefoot and I'm staring into the sun. You know, it was a pretty amazing. So you get to have this deep, inspection of your life, fully. So I like where he's going with this song because, yeah, a dirt road. There's a lot of power on a dirt road. All right, let's go.
On that long, that oceans I cannot explain. It's where I found God and filled that hole. It's He, myself, and I. On that lonely dirt road, I tried my best to plant the seeds, and then I watered everything that was in my life.
Nice.
But as a man, the only flowers that you get are when you're 6 feet under on the day you die. I think I feel the pain my father felt. It's finally sinking in. Looking back, all I see is his eyes. He said that house is not a home unless you build it on respect, with some kids and a loving wife. If these walls could talk, I'd bet they'd say it's all my fault, that I don't try hard, that I ain't man enough, that I ain't standing up, that I just burn everything that my hands touch. Whoa. If these walls could talk, I'd bet they'd say I'm to blame, that I'm the one who put myself inside of all of these chains, that my addictive personality's what ran them away, and that I hurt myself by staying quiet and not explaining. Now I'm broken.
The caveman is such a squirrel. When I watch one of these songs, I get caught up in my own. Does that mean I'm a narcissist? Am I a narcissist? I'm getting caught up in my own. I think that's the whole point of music and songs like this, right? As I'm watching this, he's looking at that older white guy planting seeds in the garden, and he seems to be alone. I don't know if I'm reading this video right or wrong. As a caveman, I'm probably wrong. I'm reminded of a conversation I had with a friend of mine who's older, wealthy, had an important job his whole life. And, he's up there now, he's approaching the window of the 70s. And he has no wife. He has no kids. He has no real stepkids or anything like that. And he has a brother. And the brother doesn't have really good health situation himself right now. And he's worried, So I think everybody needs to think about that in this era of boss babe or, living your best life, think about that. Cause like Dax is saying in the song, to build a home, you need kids and a wife. I mean, really, that makes, to me, life doesn't seem real worth it without doing that, It's the best thing I ever did. And if I would have started sooner, I would have had more than 3. That's for sure. My youngest is 9 and I'm 54. There I go again. Get into the song, dude.
In them places that I hurt myself by staying quiet and not explaining. Now I'm broken in places I can't even see. I know there's gotta be a heaven, cause the hell that's in me is taking a dangerous toll that I'm paying with all of my soul. When I need space, that's where I go.
You know what? I want to go back to the part where he had the chains and then the walls had faces coming out. There, that's good.
If these walls could talk, I'd bet they'd say I'm to blame, that I'm the one who put myself inside of all of these chains, that my addictive personality's what ran them away, and that I hurt myself by staying quiet and not explaining. Now I'm broken in places I can't even see. I know there's gotta be a heaven, cause the hell that's in me is taking a dangerous toll that I'm paying with all of my soul. When I need space, that's where I go. A place to escape that nobody knows, where I feel free to let
I like
things
that.
go and face this evil that burdens my soul. explain. It's where I found God and filled that hole. It's He, myself, and I on that lonely dirt road.
Very cool ending. I like that. There goes Dad. That's me. That's me right there. Y'all know my dad had a situation a year and a half ago. Guillain-Barré, and it was a close call, and he pulled out. The woman he was dating beforehand is still with him. He told me the other day, this is all like, a couple years after my mom passed away, that he's getting married. So, good for him. But it's weird. I feel like sometimes, let me go back right there. The truck in this scene, I feel like that is my dad. Like, we lost a connection. And I don't know that we lost a connection. I feel like that Guillain-Barré might have taken my dad from me. Maybe there's some part, like, he seems normal, like hanging out with the good old boys. It's no big deal. He's normal. He's a normal guy. He can have a normal conversation, but there's something missing. And so, yeah, a part like that in this song is a little hard for me because I feel like he's not there. Almost kind of like a zombie in a way. Like, it's just, yeah. If you see this, Dad, I'm hurting. But you know what? It makes me think very carefully all the time about Dax is talking about the faces on this wall, like if the walls could talk. But I think the walls could talk is inside you, right? Being the kingdom of God. If those walls could talk, and they do talk, right? The self-doubt, we condemn ourselves for so many things. We are critics. We are a judge on ourselves all the time. And I don't know if that's everybody, but I'm a very open person. I talk about everything to everyone. A lot of times, maybe when I shouldn't. I mean, I always think to myself, going back to the original To Be a Man video when Dax talked about the generational curses, and I always think, and I ask my kids, like we homeschool, and I asked my daughter the other day, 16 and a half, I go, "Hon, what do you think about us enrolling you in public school next year?" And I don't want her to go to public school next year, and I probably won't let her go to public school next year. But I asked her that, and I asked her that because I feel like when she's 19 or 20, she may blame me for not letting her go. And I wanted her to remember hearing me give her that option so that she won't blame me. And I don't know that I'll have the same trouble with my kids that other people do, because their friends are us. Their friends are their family, they know people, but it's not the same as like going to school and hanging out for large amount of hours with kids that you don't know, hearing their chitter chatter about, how bad their family is and how terrible their parents are. And they don't hear any of that. So I feel like I'm going to dodge a bullet in that area, but you never know. You wonder, like, are the things that I'm doing going to cause my kids a generational curse or a problem, or something that they hate me for, you know? We all want to do the best that we can, but we are judging ourselves a lot of times really harshly. And I think that Dax is lined up to be the very good dad because he's already enlightened to come up with songs like this. Is also very much understanding, I think, that deep introspection that we all need, you know, when we're living our own life, you know, like I don't know. It's a deep song. I love songs like this. I think Dax is got honestly an amazing voice for doing it too. Like, it doesn't have to be rap. It doesn't have to be fast rap. You know, after a while, that thing gets old. I personally think these songs are some of my favorite. So keep going, dog. I love it. I'm not sure. I'm going to have a video I'm going to be able to edit out of all of this because Caveman ran off the tracks too much. That looks kind of cool, dude. Like, I like the way this, you know, I'm filming this on a Samsung S24 Ultra with the selfie cam. I think that looks pretty sick. Here, dude, I'll scratch your back for you. All right. Peace out. Caveman out. All right. I'm going to try to make sense of some sort of edit to get this video out. But, man, I love you. Take care. And, yeah, thank you.